Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for joining me for this video today. My name's Leanne. Welcome to my channel, In the Garden Again. In this video, I am going to show you guys what I do to prep for the farmer's market. Right now, it's Monday, and so far this season, I've done 2 markets. And the first market went by a lot smoother for me. The second market, my entire house and yard and everything is a disaster because I was in a frenzy getting things prepared for it. So if you've ever been in that boat, I'll be right there with you because I like doing things like that, but I also don't like being stressed out. So I'm starting on Monday to prep my market supplies for Saturday so that I can just chip at it a little bit every day of the week, so that the very day before the prep, it's super easy and all I have to do is load up the minivan or the truck, whatever I end up taking. So I'm gonna bring you guys along, show you what I do, what I'm bringing to the market, and yeah, so let's get going. First, I gotta clean my potting bench because it's a disaster. As you can see, there's no room to work. Okie dokie. You are on my grow shelf right now, or the camera is. I'll show you what I've got on here. This is a failed attempt at sowing. I had a mouse get at my cilantro seeds in here, and honestly, this is a cilantro seed. I think these are too big for this size soil block, which I'm learning. I don't think these seeds are good anymore. The tiny soil blocks, they dry out super quick, and I'm not used to that. So I need to learn, like I need to come in here in the morning, make sure they're well saturated or well watered. And then in the evening, make sure they're well watered too, because I live in a warmer climate. I'm in North Carolina and the shed gets pretty hot too. So these are just drying out a lot faster than they did for me when I started everything else earlier in the winter. So, it's just a learning curve. I'm not writing off soil blocking, but I am kind of starting to prefer the bigger soil blocks over the little ones. Though they're not in this little block for very long. I'm just gonna pull that guy out. Okay. Hopefully those survive. I think this is dill. Can't really tell from smelling it right now. This is supposed to be a lettuce, and I'm pretty sure I had basil seeds in here, but it looks like whatever that mouse, like I don't even see them in here anymore. I think that mouse ate them all. Stinker. So I'll probably re-sow some basil seeds. I only want to get like a couple of plants going in the garden because basil propagates super easily. I can just keep taking cuttings from it. Okay, and these are left over from the market. Lola Rosa lettuce, marigolds, and lettuce leaf basil. Yeah. And then this is the only microgreen I have left from the market. It's not because I almost sold out, it's because a lot of the ones that I have left over grew mold, which makes sense. Like there's not a lot of airflow in this thing. So what I've been doing is just opening these up to kind of try to prevent the mold from happening, letting it air out a little bit, and then just closing it at night so that the whatever mouse is in here doesn't get at these again, because that was a huge bummer. Yeah, so that's the grow shelf. I just bought a big thing of peat moss and compost and worm castings to make my own little mix. I need to up-pot some things, and I need to start some kits. So what I've got going on, I showed you what I was growing the microgreens in. This is what I've been growing my microgreens in. Now I started doing this because, well, I originally bought these to put the cut microgreens in to give to the customer, but I was having rodent issues. Sorry about that, my camera was freaking out. So it's having rodent issues in the trays of microgreens. So I literally had a burrow, like a tunnel, dug through the dirt in my sunflower tray. So I haven't tried to grow sunflowers since then, just because I feel like they're not going to do that great in these little containers because they get taller. But what I'm thinking I might do, which I feel like this should have been a duh, I should have thought of this before, buds. So microgreen tray, and then you put one of these on top of here. I think what I'm gonna do is put it on top of it like this, and then put a weight so that rodents cannot get into it at night, instead of having it in blackout just this way. I know people like doing the blackout this way because you can put a weight here and it kind of forces the microgreens to grow a little bit taller. So I might still try to find something that I can do that I can keep in the tray so that I can still keep it like this to keep rodents off of it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna continue growing in the clamshells to keep the rodents out. So I ordered with my earnings from market last week a tent that's supposed to be for hydroponic growing, but it's got vents for good airflow. It's big enough to put over my grow shelf. I'm hoping that will help. And there is like a section for like a tube to go out for like bring the water in for the hydroponics. I'm going to cover that up with some insect netting, maybe even like a trash bag, something that I can just completely seal around so nothing can get through. And I know a rodent can probably still like chew through that, but I hope that it will at least allow me to start growing at more of a capacity here. Okay, I gotta get some peat moss and compost out of my minivan. Once I come back from that, we can get started with the prep. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is making these microgreen kits. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some peat moss and worm castings in this tub. And then I've got all of these little cups. Where did they go? Here we go. I got all of these little condiment cups, and I thought these would work perfectly. I just found these at the grocery store. Little cups with lids. I'm gonna put the seeds in these, and I am going to put a little Ziploc bag full of the peat moss and worm castings, put a sticker label on it, some instructions, and boom. Grow your own microgreen kit. They will be up on Etsy. Yes, okay, so I'm gonna get these. This is what I like to get at Lowe's. It's just the new leaf. It's just usually what they have there, and it's pretty cheap, so I like it. This is the cow manure compost from New Leaf. Not sponsored or anything, but I get this because it's like the cheapest one. And I am stingy. Earthworm castings, peat moss, let's go. Okay, I thought I had the camera going this whole time, but I didn't. So all I've done so far is measure the seeds, so it's a little bit of different. The quantity, I guess, is a little different because the seeds are different sizes. And they spread further, if that makes any sense. So I just labeled R for radish, K for kale, C for cabbage, B for broccoli, and I used up the rest of these plastic containers. I got 12 here. Now what I need to do is mix my peat moss and my worm castings. I'm only gonna do like a tub of it right now because that's all that I need. I need to go inside though and get some Ziploc baggies. I think I've got just like regular sandwich baggies. That should work pretty well. And that's what I want to do to start with. I may get more creative with like the bag for the dirt to make it look a little more professional. But for now, I'm just going to use what I have. Take these to the market tomorrow, see how they do, and also post them on Etsy shop. So if you guys want to have a go at growing microgreens, check out my Etsy shop at Shop Itka. I'll have the link in the description below. So almost done with today's task for getting ready for the market. Got them. I got my Ziplocs. I've got my worm castings, my bin that I'm gonna mix them in, and my peat moss. I don't know if you can see that in the frame. I don't know why this little colander is in here, but I'm gonna use it to sift. And so sometimes these clumps, they're not like actual twigs, they're just clumps and you can like break them apart. But like this would get in the way. You need to make worm casting bags that can zip back up. Okay, so let's see. I think I could do this with just the peat moss, but I want there to be a little bit more nutrition in here for these kits. So 2 scoops, this size, they're like heaping scoops of the worm castings. Just breaking them up because they were kind of clumpy. Now I want this to be dry because I'm not gonna mix water in it. I'm just gonna have instructions for how much water to put in it. So I'm just checking for more clumps here. So excited about the coffee. I'm gonna be done with this in a minute. This is taking a lot longer than it would typically because I'm showing you guys what I'm doing. But that's okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I don't really know how much soil to put in these bags yet. So I'm going to just fill this thing up and then put it in one of these to see like how it lays. Get all the air out of there. Okay, so I think that's too much. So let's try half a bag. A little more than half a bag. And you spread it out like that. It will, I think, expand a bit. All right, so I think half a bag is just right. I'm gonna put a little bit more than what is needed, just in case people spill. So I guess that was more than like half a bag. Maybe like 3/4 of a bag earlier. Okay. So, for instance, it's gonna go in there like that. I'll probably have the zipper part like underneath, just for aesthetics. And then, boom. That's what it's gonna be like. So you guys should order these from me. I'm going to keep this bag out so that I can refer to how full it is. I don't have to keep looking. Okay. Let's see. Can like make sure that it's the same. It's a little more in this one. Radish ones are done. 4 for the kale. Guys, I do not know why. It may be just from scrolling Instagram too much, but I have the Britney Spears song Toxic stuck in my head. And I don't like it because I only know one line of the whole song. And that could not have worked out more perfectly. I used up all of the mix that I made. So now I'm gonna take these inside. I am going to like clean them up a little bit. I actually think I'm gonna use this thing to carry it all in. I'm going to just put all of the bags of peat moss in here. I'm actually gonna put them on my scale and see if I can just like kind of fine tune it a little bit. I can see like how much they weigh, and same thing with these seed packs so that I can like write it down and make it more uniform, make it like just streamline the process for doing this. I think make market prep a lot easier for myself in the future, I think. Yeah, so it took less than an hour to do. I have 12 of them prepped up. If I sell each one for $6, I don't know, do the math for that. And then, yeah, I'll need to like calculate the cost for the seeds and the cups and everything to figure out how much I'm actually making on these. But I am pretty excited. So far, today's task for prepping for the market is done. Time to make a cup of coffee and time to take a shower. Other than this step for prepping for the market, I'm going to start more seeds. I've got these cute little biodegradable cups. I know these aren't ideal as far as like transporting in, but I like this better. It's less plastic. I could put a little wooden tag in each one so people have like a little marker that they can put in their own garden about for what it is. And I just think that they're better, in my opinion. I know they dry out fast, but it's not plastic, so it's better. I'm going to be starting more seeds in those. I have these bags of the Stay Green, or no, actually these are the New Leaf cow manure bags. I'm going to use those for up potting some of these soil blocks and for potting some plants that I have, and for starting more seeds for the market. So that's going to be tomorrow's task for prepping for the market. Other than that, I'm watering things, and I'll be starting some microgreens too, but the microgreens that I'll be starting this week are going to go to the Tuesday market for next week, not the market for Saturday, because they won't be grown enough. They might be, actually. I'll try it, and I'll take some there and see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video, and I will be doing more market prep type videos in the future. Give me any suggestions if you want to see what I'm up to in the garden in the comments below, and maybe I can make a video about it. I'm only putting out one video a week just because I don't have time to do more than that. But I'm still really enjoying the video creating, and that one video a week allows me to be in the garden more, which is really what I like most. So thanks again for watching. And if you need a friend to learn how to garden with, I'm your girl. Happy gardening. Bye.